Welcome back to Haircuts and Uppercuts. This is our review of the weekend's action. Connor, Benn, Shannon, Courtney, Savannah Marshall. But first of all, we've got merch.
Yeah.
Stand up, Rob. You're the skinny one.
Why do I have to... Can you see it?
Nah, sit down. Sit down.
Yes.
What a man.
Yeah, and for people listening on Spotify and Google Podcasts, you can check out the T-shirts on Instagram. We have pretty much sold out already, and I only just got them from the printers today. So we're going to have to get another batch made up. So that's pretty sick, man. People are jumping on the Haircuts and Uppercuts bandwagon.
Yeah, thanks for the support from everyone. Obviously, great start to this whole thing that you've kicked off, Luke, and long may it continue.
Yeah, mate. You know, I'm well pleased. You know, we're doing something we love to do, and it's, you know, people are enjoying it. What more could you want?
Perfect.
All right, shall we start from the top of the card and work our way down, or start from
shortest fights first?
Yeah.
Up to you, mate. Whatever.
I think we should start from the top of the card, don't you?
Yeah, big statement, wasn't it?
Mental. Very
big statement by Conor Benn. So yeah, it'll be exciting. It'd be great to see what happens next. But not really a lot to talk about, is he? Just went in there and knocked him out.
Mate, I've seen a lot of people, you know, but you know, Evanison was past it. He was old. He's always lost at the highest level. But then people weren't saying that Friday. They wasn't saying that Friday.
Did you mean Vargas?
Vargas, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I got Evanison on my brain.
Yeah,
I want to
put out the name that I can't say. So I was like, that one. Really?
Yeah, so, you know, everyone was saying that Vargas, was past it, etc.
They always do, though, don't they?
Yeah, but no one was saying that Friday or Saturday morning, was there? Oh, it's a dangerous fight for Conor. It was a big step up. Yes, he's lost at the highest level, but Conor's not even fringe world class level yet, is he?
No.
I mean, I kind of said from the get-go, I mean, this is a big fight for Conor Benn. I didn't think it'd be easy, and I'm jumping on board the Conor Benn bandwagon now. Yeah. If I'm being honest, I didn't expect that. It was brilliant.
I've been on the train of his for quite a while now, to be honest. Even from his like York Hall earlier fights, I just like following those sort of journeys. As long as the character's all right. Like obviously, these people have said about Eubank Jr. and his character doesn't quite suit the journey that you want to follow. But with Ben, bang on that one. And I actually really wasn't as confident. And I wasn't on the last pod, but I really wasn't as confident as what you guys were that he was even going to win. Because I just find that every fight he goes into now, I don't know how good he is. I don't know where he's even going to go to. So these steps that he is taking are absolutely perfect. And the fact that he's calling out the big names and even wants world title shots, but I don't think he should go for that yet. He may well be good enough, but I think every fight that he keeps going into keeps surprising us, keeps entertaining us, and he's definitely going to be at his next pay-per-view, man.
I mean, I really agree with that, especially, you know, a lot of people go and put him in with so-and-so. So don't rush him in. Yeah, great performance. I thought it'd be difficult for him to beat Vargas. He's gone out, done it in style. Let's not get too excited, right? You know, we've still got to see a bit more from my point of view. But props to him. Fantastic.
That was mental. Lovely.
Yeah. And people calling an early stoppage, by the way, I think, no. Fox was out. He was gone.
He was out on his feet, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Out on his feet.
The thing is, the people that are saying early stoppage are the same people that would say Daniel Dubois' corner should have pulled him out. You know, boxing fans, we're never happy, really, are we? Like, we're always going to find something to complain about. But he was getting unloaded on with big, heavy shots.
Oh, he weren't throwing anything back. He wasn't defending it, was he? You know, and I think that kind of saved him a few brain cells there.
I'm not going to lie. When they stopped the fight, I was always a bit harsh. You could tell he was hurt, but give him a chance. And then when they showed the slow motion replay, I was like, nah, that was the right call. That should have been stopped. 100%. You know, I don't want to see people having their life shortened. It's entertainment.
No, of course. every time Ben goes in the ring now for fight week, weeks before it, and stuff like that, it genuinely excites me. Like I can't wait for him to get in the ring. I can't wait for the next date to be announced. And this is from the start of the year and the start of the cards. When was the first one? Was it March, February? Can't even remember now. But
He definitely fought, didn't he?
From the first card from that, this was the one I was looking forward to.
Yeah,
waiting for Conor to get in there, and I love the way that he talks. I love the bit of aggression, the bit of bite that he's got, and it genuinely excites me when he's going to get in the ring. I don't know what's that. He could even, like, when he's been chinned before and gone down, like that. Even that the fight just excites me. Yeah, I just can't wait to see him.
I mean, I've never really been on the hype train, but I'm, as I said, I'm on board now. I mean, he's won me over. Yeah, I was sort of guy saying before, he's a bit like Eubank Jr. He's got his dad's name. That's got him. He's a fucking great fighter as well. Let's not forget that. But I did think people like yourself were getting a bit too overhyped about him, but I'm well on board with this now after that performance.
See, the thing is, right? So I've followed him from his pro debut because of who his dad is, and I've made no illusion over that fact. I jumped on board because his dad's Nigel, and slowly and surely he has won me over. To me, I'm tuning because it's Conor Benn, not because it's Nigel Benn's son now.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you both saying earlier. They do have to get the right fights for him. Yesterday was supposed to be a test. It was not a test. What has anyone learned from that, apart from the fact that he can bang? He needs a couple more, I don't know, European level type opponents, and before he goes after the big titles, or just get the Khan fight done. Like one more fight than Khan.
Yeah,
because
I definitely love to see it, but Khan's not taking that.
Yeah,
Khan won't bow out getting knocked out by Conor Benn.
Do you think Conor Benn would smash him up then? You think it'd knock him out?
I think it's a good fight, but then it's a good fight for the styles as well. The fight is good, but it's just gonna, like we just seen a first, or inside the first 2 minutes or whatever it was at the weekend. That guy's got a bit of a chin as well, and we all know that Khan hasn't. So Khan, he's not bowing out like that.
Well, I think he batters Khan. Not batters, but I think he knocks him out.
Yeah, I think he probably does beat Khan, but I think he beats Brook a lot easier. But either way, that's not a fight I want to see. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see an up and coming Benn against a bowing out Khan. That doesn't interest me. Yeah, that doesn't interest me at all.
It's the man formerly known as Amir Khan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like Gervonta Davis knocking out Santa Cruz. It just means nothing in that division anymore, that fight, for me.
It's a bit of a comparison. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Santa Cruz is a great bowing out. Amir Khan's fought at the top level, and he's bowing out now. I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see it. It doesn't interest me.
No,
but that's each their own, right? And that's each their own, I guess.
So obviously, I name dropped Avanesian earlier when I was, meant to say Vargas. So that's because we were talking about how it's interesting. That was the only name that's relevant that didn't come out of his mouth on Saturday night. And I think Avanesian should be avoided for the time being.
I don't know. I was thinking about what you said about it. I think that's his next one. I don't really think there's that many good European level fighters that he won't just plow through, apart from that one. So I would probably go for that next, and then go for the fringe world level.
To tell you what, if he fights Avanesian in this next fight or his next two fights, the guy's a nutter.
To see it, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, of course I'd love to see it.
You'd love to see it. So that's the thing. That's what Eddie wants as well. And then I wouldn't, even if that one is next and it's not Khan or Brook, I guarantee that I'll be pay-per-view, just because the guys beat Kelly, and Conor is obviously bringing the numbers now, bringing the entertainment, bringing all that. That one wouldn't surprise him with a good undercard.
Well, it's obvious he's going to be the next superstar British boxer.
That so also depends on who he fights him with in the next couple of fights.
I mean,
if he goes big next, then goes pay-per-view, or builds him a little bit more, like two more fights, exciting ones, the Vargas levels, and he stops them, keeps the entertainment value,
I mean, I can't see anyone who's going to be bigger than him pay-per-view wise. Only other person I could say would be Ricky Hatton's son because of the name, but we've not seen enough of him yet.
Yeah, that may come in time. Yeah, but you're definitely right with that one.
No, he's definitely the next pay-per-view star coming out of the country.
I mean, that performance of the weekend, mate. That's pay-per-view.
It was, and not that his
I'd be a bit annoyed
afterwards.
if I paid for it. But...
but mate, he had Eddie and shitting himself.
Yeah, he's a little bit scary, isn't he?
Oh mate, fucking!
I love it when he starts chopsing off. I love it.
Carry
on it.
You can see his dad in him, can't you? Proper.
Oh yeah,
you really can.
But a bit more scary, to be honest. A bit more like fright in the voice. I like it.
Yeah.
I think he is the 100% package for marketing and commerciality.
Oh, easy. Yeah,
it does 100%. Kind of help. What does help him. So again, and win that fashion. I think me and you were talking about this the other day, Luke, and you were saying to me like he's got to come out of his dad's shadow.
Yeah.
And he's got to fight the best. He's got to put on great performances, and all that will never happen. That could benefit him.
Well, that was the title of our last podcast, wasn't it? Is this Conor Benn's come out party? And I think he answered that. It was. Yeah. And he smashed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
great performance. On to the next one for him.
Yeah, I went on the train. I'm fully on board it now. I'm on the hype train. So there's probably a lot of people in the country who like that as well now. So
yeah, this is slightly off topic, but I'm going to throw it in there. I think his performance yesterday might help Campbell Hatton because we've seen it with Chris Eubank Jr. He's a Marmite character. You love him, I hate him, don't you? Yeah, his dad was kind of like that. But then Conor Benn comes along, his first couple of fights, you could tell he was novice and wet behind the ears. And he's gone on to do this and everyone's, loving it. I think people might jump on board with Campbell Hatton from early now. Like you're saying, Rob, you're going to keep a close eye on him. And
yeah, but I'll be very honest with him, like I think he's shit. I'll say shit.
But I think a lot more people might be jumping on, the bandwagon of watching these British legends' children boxing now after that performance.
No, definitely. Yeah, they certainly will because it's seeing if they can match the Conor Benn now. To be honest, the Conor Benn fighting entertainment style.
It'd be great, though, wouldn't it? If all of these kind of came through, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
great.
All came through to big level. It'd be
legends reborn.
Yeah, I imagine if Ricky Hatton's son ended up having a fight in Vegas. That'd be mad, wouldn't it? I mean, that would be mental. Yeah.
If that happens, we're going.
If I let you in, mate. No, I'm joking.
Pardon?
If I let you in,
yeah, you can pay for it. I can't afford that one.
I'll put it down on the business expenses. I'll have a word with my accountant.
Sell a few more T-shirts.
Just go bankrupt afterwards.
Oh yeah. Right, so I was really impressed with the Shannon Courtney Ebony Bridges fight.
Yeah, sorry.
Arguably fight of the night as well.
Hands down was fight of the night.
I thought the first fight was a very good fight, but for me, Shannon Courtney.
Fight on the whole card.
No, sorry, the Farouk, the second fight. Player. Sorry, the second fight on the card. Farouk, not the first.
That was a good fight.
It was a very good fight, but yeah, Courtney Bridges. I mean, I thought Courtney convincingly won that. Bridges gave nothing for me.
So that's again what we've related to this in pretty much every podcast we've ever done is the judging side of things. But I only had a sort of not needing those last two rounds, but I had it even up until the last two. So that's again, you two said it was convincing, and our other mate as well. We chat to about it. He was similar to me. So it genuinely depends on what you like to see and how you score stuff. So I had it closer than you guys, definitely.
Yeah, I gave Ebony Bridges, I think 3-4 rounds, and
that's what I. It was only a 10-round fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of them she won clearly, and then the other three. To me, it was, I'll give it to her because why not kind of attitude.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a close fight at all. Really.
She didn't pose any. She didn't pose any threat.
There was no argument to her winning at all.
No.
Definitely not with that. But closer rounds than probably what you guys thought But again, like I just said, it's opinion. It's how you judge stuff. Like she could have, in some people's eyes, won no rounds.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like it was a competitive fight.
It's a great fight to watch.
She never won it, but it was great to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, like the rounds that she lost, she didn't lose them by a mile. Unfortunately, if you lose, you get 9 points. If you win, you get 10 points.
Yeah.
Unless obviously get knocked down. But I think Ebony Bridge is going to have made a lot of fans this weekend.
I'm sure she has. not just for fighting.
Oi, oi. Well, we'll talk about it in a second because I think she's a clever girl.
Genius.
But you see,
and the nickname's smart as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the blonde mama.
Yeah, that is smart.
But you think, right? So she turns up to these weigh-ins wearing what she wears, which is very little, looking like she looks, and she looks good. And then I'm not gonna lie, part of me thinks, are you here for a photo shoot? Are you here to box? What's going on? And then she gets in that ring, and her eye, man. Gee, if my eye looked like that, I wouldn't want to carry on fighting.
Yeah, it wasn't too pleasant. I'm pretty sure I picked up. I don't know if it was ever. I didn't look to see if anyone confirmed it, but I'm pretty sure they had a small clash of heads, and that's what started it off. And then Shannon just went for it, which obviously.
Do you know what? I've seen a lot online today. People going, and you have this every Friday. If he didn't land that punch, if they didn't clash heads,
but
the head clash. That's part of boxing, unfortunately. And for me, until that moment, for me, Courtney was winning every round. The clash heads. Courtney took advantage of it. I'm not a big Courtney fan, by the way. But there was no contest for me that fight. Seriously, I just thought it was so convincing from her.
Yeah, but going back to what you were saying, Luke, that it's extremely clever. Because yes, the women's boxing game, it should just be called boxing, not women's boxing and men's boxing. But the women's scene isn't a fraction of the size of the men's. And to bring in the viewers that she did for that, just through previous weigh-ins and just in general what she does, and she's obviously proved she can fight as well. It's extremely clever.
Did it get big views in the end?
I think it did, to be honest.
Yeah,
I haven't looked. So
it got decent views, but I think she's extremely clever what she's done and does. That's not her just doing it for the first time here. I think she's done it in pretty much all of her fights that she's had, which is 6 now. I know it's not loads, but. Extremely clever and fair play.
Well, I'm just looking for the numbers on IFL, right? So her and Shannon, their section of the press conference did 74,000 views. Yeah.
What about the weigh-in? Did have that? Off the scale.
Let's have a look
YouTube
at the weigh-in. Probably did, mate. Broke the internet, didn't it? But
yeah.
You look at that and you think that they've got their clothes on there. That it did more views than the weigh-in. The weigh-in did 65,000. So you think that is 75,000 people tuned in to watch them talk about the fight, right? 65,000 then watch them weigh in. If all of them tuned in, right, that's a lot of people. And she's proved she's not just a pretty blonde girl. She can fight. She's got heart. She can bite down on a gum shield. And Shannon Courtney, I think, looked the best she's looked ever yesterday. That was
she's good.
I thought it was a clinical performance. Her footwork was amazing.
Okay, I can't wait for the Courtney Bull rematch. That'll be very good.
Yes.
It'll be a very good fight off that last night.
That should be. Is that going to be next, or she got some?
It's got to be. It's
got to be, hasn't it?
It's got to be because that was Rachel Bull's. Well, that was her title shot, weren't it, last night? But obviously COVID.
Yeah, and they had
because of COVID, she couldn't.
They had Rachel Bull watching it live on Instagram, and I was, chatting to her and stuff. So I think that is the next fight.
She's been commenting on it all week as well. The past couple of weeks in the build-up, a lot of interviews with Rachel Bull. That's going to be. Well, it's a fight to make. It's an interesting fight. If Shannon Courtney has a mandatory defence, who's going to watch it? Let's be honest.
No one.
Well, that's the thing at the moment with the depth, which we've covered again before. The depth of the women's boxing divisions all across. Like no one had even heard of Ebony Bridges before this. Obviously, she got a 4 weeks notice to come on the fight. But yeah, someone at 5-6-0 fighting someone who was 6-1 for the world title. The depth and probably the quality in some of the mandatories are going to be pretty poor, but it's going to work the same way as the men's side of it.
Yeah.
And, fights have to take place, but yeah, I don't know if it's going to be ball or a mandatory.
I mean, it'd be a smart thing for women's boxing to either have the rematch or have the bullfight, because both of them were good fights.
Yeah.
The Bull Courtney fight was brilliant. Courtney Bridges fight was brilliant.
Yeah.
There's only one way to go, really, isn't there, from there?
Well, yeah,
And there's unanswered questions. That's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, they've got to do it. You know, they want to grow the sport and get more eyes on it, which then in turn means more girls could take up boxing, and in 10 years' time, it'll be much better. There'll be so much more depth. And
with the growing of it, like we just covered with Ebony, that she was making. I watched pretty much, I think, all of the build up through most of the fight. So listening to what she was saying, that I think the whole thing, the taking offence to whatever was said by Shannon and etc. But the back and forth they had, that she does her thing so that she gets viewers. Like they could be the wrong type of viewers, but at the moment that they are viewers. And if she can bring other people into watching women's boxing, that's the main aim. Yes, they're going to look at her in her underwear, but they're looking at her. They're looking at her go towards her world title fight.
I just kind of think with those three fighters now, you've got a kind of little trio there where you can kind of, the original fight. Yeah, the original fight was meant to be Bull v Bridges.
Yeah.
Say if Courtney does have a mandatory, which we don't want to see, you've then got that fight. And there's fights to be made now.
And now people are watching.
And we've never had that in women's boxing. We've never had a sort of rivalry, have we? Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've not had, which you anticipate. We've not had that in women's boxing.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. It'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I said on the previous podcast, I'm glad Shannon Courtney lost against Rachel Ball. Not because I don't like her, because it adds more excitement and depth to the division. And that's what it needs to build up the sport and to get more eyeballs watching. Someone's going to have to lose in a close, tough fight so we can get a rematch, so we can get this animosity or whatever people want to call it, fake beef or whatever, but it gets people interested.
Fake or not, we watch it.
Exactly.
Even on the men's side of it.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, we've never had in women's boxing, apart from a couple of fights, they've all kind of been one-sided.
Mm.
Two fights, Courtney v. Bull, Courtney v. Bridges have, obviously I thought it was a very convincing performance from Courtney, but it was a fight.
It was a good fight. It was
it was a good fight. We normally, a lot of women's boxing, get Katie Taylor going there and just, who's the star of women's boxing, just goes in and kind of nails them within a few rounds, and that it's not a good advert for the sport.
No,
when there's no competition, and we've got a bit of competition now.
Well, you think out of Katie Taylor's opponents, how many can you name off the top of your head?
The one who I can't remember it. I don't even pronounce the name. The one who she lost to.
Delphine Bassoon.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. Natasha Jonas. How many of her opponents can you name? Probably.
No, but I mean, Jonas for me is going to get nailed.
Yes, she's
going to get nailed by Taylor. That's not an interesting fight for me to watch.
But you think, like you're saying about it being one-sided because of the lack of depth, but it's the tough fights that we remember them for. So everyone remembers the Anthony Joshua losing against Ruiz. Everyone remembers Katie Taylor on the undercard getting a controversial win.
A very controversial win, yeah.
Everyone remembers the very close rematch they had in Matchroom Square Garden, as Eddie liked to call it. And everyone's going to remember Shannon Courtney and Rachel Ball and Shannon Courtney, Ebony Bridges. And, I think it's brilliant. It's moving in the right direction. It's took quite a few years, but it's happening.
It's just the depth, though, isn't it? That's the problem.
But that's what I think's kind of now. You'd have the one good boxer, like Clarissa Shields, for example, going through nailing everyone. in this division with Courtney, Ball, and Bridges, that's not the case. They're good fights. You go into game, you don't know who's going to win the rematch show. You don't know who's going to win Ball Courtney, and you want to watch it. So it is that to me is that little bit of depth it's getting now.
Yeah, it's getting.
And hopefully that grows.
It's still going to be very hard to do because you could almost compare it a little bit to the men's side of it. Like just even in sort of almost general life, like if you threw a pair of gloves at most men and said just have a scrap, a lot more of them are going to do that rather than if you threw a pair of gloves at a woman and said have a scrap. And I think that's just naturally what would happen. So that the depth is going to be so hard to build, but I think it will come. But it's going to be difficult. But like you just said, it's already moving in the right direction. And just hope the quality stays up rather than just putting on fights for the sake of
it.
Touching on Clarissa Shields, though, Rob, we all want to see her fight Savannah Marshall, though. Yeah,
but I mean, that's a fight that should have been made within the past 2 years, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Get it made. Clarissa Shields ain't going to take it.
She don't want that smoke.
She don't want anything of it. And that's, Clarissa Shields will go down as someone who's just, she's like Deontay Wilder before he fought anyone of half decency. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but at least she's got an excuse because the lack of depth.
Yeah, true, yeah.
But when
so I asked if we wanted to beat Joshua, but that's the story for another day, isn't it? So.
Yeah. But when there's only one other woman in and around your weight and she's beat you in the amateurs, why would you not want to fight her?
Exactly.
You have to fight her, don't you?
You've got to.
You have to.
But that's the thing, if they're gonna, she's holding that side of the sport back. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Someone like Chris Shields, and if she's saying, "I'm doing this for women," blah blah, you're holding the sport back by not taking that fight. You want the sport to grow, fight. Take the fight people want to see.
Yeah,
and Mayweather done it for years. Mayweather made boxing boring for 10 years, as the Klitschko brothers did.
Yes, I was about to say, and the Klitschkos.
Yeah.
But if you lose, right, one loss does not ruin a career. And in the women's boxing, I don't like saying women's boxing, but it matters because it needs to be built up. So more young girls can see that and go to a boxing gym and put on a pair of gloves, right? Mm. If Clarissa Shields fights Savannah Marshall and loses, who cares? Have a rematch. If you lose again, who cares? At the end of the day, you're doing your bit to grow the sport that you're earning a living from.
You'd be remembered a lot more, wouldn't you, for having a big fight? You'd be... Yeah, that's what Wilder will be remembered for, fighting Fury.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking a fight with Fury, when the big fight one was Joshua Wilder. Who did Joshua fight in the meantime? Povetkin. Who did Wilder and Fury fight? Each other. That fight will be remembered for that,
Yeah, no one's talking about Joshua Takam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
At the end of the day...
No one was talking about Joshua Rees until he lost.
No.
Or Joshua the Jarrell
Miller.
What's his name again? Miller.
Big baby Miller.
Mr. EPO.
Mr. Royd. Oh, what a penis. How many times are you going to get caught taking drugs? He got done again.
No, I don't get these promoters that keep signing him. They just want the headline. He's been caught again. Oh, that'll get us a bit of money.
But yeah, I think the women's division's growing. Boxing's on the up again because I feel like boxing went a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though Anthony Joshua is, creating the wave and riding the wave himself for the growth of boxing, I do think in general it did take a bit of a dip though.
I think Fury Wilder 2 was the fight boxing needed in general. That made in America especially.
Oh yeah.
Big push behind boxing came back again when that fight was announced.
I know COVID hasn't helped though. So I know obviously with other sports and especially football, like football's probably the biggest business in the world. So that has the money to sustain all of the professional players and get them tests and stuff like that. But if it wasn't for someone like Eddie and Frank, obviously he's still got a bit of money floating about, and clearly
some of the American promoters as well, right? The Bob Arons, they got the Lomachenko's fighting the Lopeses. I'll tell you what,
promoters keep the fights coming in.
Boxing and UFC done a great service throughout lockdown.
Yeah, they have.
They've done a fantastic service.
Absolutely. For everyone. Yeah. And
But
it did take a dip, though. You're right.
it did, and it probably is because of COVID, but because we're still in it, it's hard to see it, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I can see as we're
Only
coming
a few
out,
more hours. Pub
yeah,
tomorrow.
as was, coming closer and closer to life being back to normal, it feels like they're chucking a bit more money behind the shows as well, because they know, yes, we can take a loss because in a couple of months' time we'll have 20,000 people buying tickets.
Absolutely, yeah, and that will come back. So yeah, take the risk. Put on the slightly bigger fights towards the end of the lockdowns when fans can't go. Get people back interested. Get people wanting to see more, and then risk worth taking, definitely.
No, if you say taking a dip, I mean, maybe took a bit of dip in terms of fights made, but when COVID hit, sport needed to take a pay cut. Boxing took that pay cut and continued putting events on, and the fighters who fought in that period, hats off to them.
Yeah,
Kept sport going.
Do you know what, right? So one part I actually did enjoy with boxing in lockdown was because there was less money, you got to see some of the small hall fighters get their TV opportunity.
Get their chance, yeah.
Yeah. And,
Did you...
sorry, carry on, mate.
Did you see in the UFC they had a guy called Chaz, mate? He's a guy from Sweden. He came in for 3 fights in 11 days, won them all convincingly. We would never have got an opportunity if it weren't for COVID.
No.
And it was fantastic. And a lot of these young boxers have had it in boxing as well. They've had the opportunity to get on these cards.
Yeah, so Linus Udofia, he's has fought on TV before his fight on Sky last year at the MK Dons, but that was a big card. A lot of people was watching that, and there wasn't many fights on the card as well, so you're going to be invested and watch the entire card. And he got sponsored by Umbro the other week. I'm not saying they're related or connected or anything, because Linus is a brilliant fighter, and he knows how to market himself really well. But the opportunities that some of these young fighters have managed to carve themselves through COVID, hats off to them.
What do you guys think of? Obviously, the cards are a lot shorter now. I've enjoyed it actually. I just find you can fit in other things in the day and watch a card of boxing. I
think it's good. It is good, but it is probably going to affect people going to a fight night.
Yeah.
Because, yes, you don't want to sit there for like 8 hours. I think we went to one at Wembley Arena once, and I think the doors opened at like 2, first fight at 3, and then the main event was still at like 10. Like that's probably too much. You sat in one chair, you're drinking your beers, you're getting your food in, and whatever. So the 5 or 6 fights that we've had on TV has been quite good. But then you'll get loads of people saying, because you don't have the 8, 9, 10 fights that you used to, should I be paying £40 cheapest? That's what I think.
I've always thought
you can sit and watch it at home on telly now.
Yeah, I always thought I've always thought going to boxing, you get your money's worth. As in, like, you go to football, you can pay 60 quid.
Yeah,
and you get 90 minutes of draw.
Again, if you work it out, having the 5 fights for the £40 cheapest ticket, like money for fight ratio value,
it's £8 a fight.
It's bad,
there you go. Do you want to pay that, or? And if you're paying, that's the cheapest seats. Yeah. So if you're paying VIP £1,000, 800 quid or whatever it is. Clearly I've never bought one, so I've just made that price up. I think it's about there. Yeah. Then do you want to pay that for 5 fights?
Yeah.
Probably
not. I'd be happy paying 100 quid for a ticket for 5 or 6 fights. Not £1,000 though.
No, fuck that. For a free drink and a sit down.
You think like whenever we go watch the boxing, we always go for the £60 to £80 tickets.
Yeah.
If we can get them, we'll go for them.
We'll always go for like the middle of the range tickets because it's a good seat.
I can't afford the high end, and I don't want to be sat right at the back.
Hey, come on, lads, press passes now.
Well, when Steve Goodwin's back up and running, and he's going to give us the chance to do a bit of press, that's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, come on, Steve.
Absolutely.
Big up Steve Goodwin, mate.
Big up Steve Goodwin, best promoter ever.
No, you know what? I think it's wicked that he's going to give us an opportunity, though. You know, I think.
Oh no, props to him for even coming on, and everyone else who's come on.
Yeah,
You know, props to him.
but I think he
Don't have to do it.
knows. I think he knows that we love our small ball boxing, and that's why he's doing it. So fair play to him.
I'm just going to go and get a
100%.
bottle opener, lads. If you can just pause the recording, if that's okay, Luke.
Fucking alcoholic.
Sorry, I'm
love.
fucking alky. Sorry, mate. I'll go and
Well,
rehab
when, you,
next
when
week.
you brought the bottle in, why didn't you bring a fucking opener with it?
Because I thought it was a twisty one, but I bought an Amstel instead of a
Ooh,
Budweiser.
pick this back up. Rob's finally gone and got his bottle opener, Alcoholic.
Just about to get drunk on another podcast.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, man. Fucking batter, mate.
but I had people messaging me on Instagram going, Jesus Christ,
Oh,
Rob
no.
was smashed.
Nothing like being professional.
At least to turn up, Scott.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, well, you know.
Luke's better off talking to himself, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, Joe. No. But employee of the month, Luke. Come on.
I'll make you employee of the month, yeah?
Okay, cheers.
You can put the picture up in your new flat.
I won't be able to see it. I'll be too drunk.
Be on the piss.
But yeah, whilst Rob was off getting a drink, me and Scott said off camera about we didn't really talk much about Savannah Marshall, but we didn't need to. We know how good she is. Everyone knows how good she is. And until Carissa Shields steps in the ring with her, I don't think she's going to have any troubles.
Yeah, that opponent, obviously, Saturday night was, I'm pretty sure was it a week notice she got or something like that.
Yeah.
And he got in her DMs that he said because she didn't have an opponent. And yeah, got in the ring, got the job done. Decent performance.
Yeah, she's never been stopped before. But you know, Savannah Marshall, mate, she hits hard. I wouldn't want to fight her.
Absolutely not. No.
No,
I guess that was that covering that then.
Yeah.
I actually said nothing for that.
But yeah, obviously, I'm back to work tomorrow. So hopefully, if I can fit it in, we will be able to do one from the shop before this weekend, hopefully, and discuss all this upcoming action.
Yep, that'll be good. We've got the YouTube one, I think, and the middleweight championship, Andrade defending against Liam Williams. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob's fighting Jake Paul, aren't you, Rob?
Yeah. Hang on, let me take the top.
Wow, that looks worse. Put that back on.
Yeah. It's Ben Askren thinking coffee in me.
But yeah, so I'm gonna throw it out there right now. I think Liam Williams is going to become world champion next weekend.
It's big. I kind of think the same, to be honest. But
I do as well.
I've not been impressed with Andrade.
I think he's good. I do think he's good, but I feel like Williams is just going to have that tiny bit more and want it more and get it.
Don't get me wrong, like Dimitri Andrade, he is a good boxer, and it sounds awful. I feel like he's wearing Billy Joe's old title. That's all.
I was just about to say that. You know, Billy Joe was stripped to basically give him the belt, and I've not seen him really do anything since.
No,
keeps chasing Billy Joe, though, doesn't he?
Well, apparently, no. Would he have ever wanted that fight? I mean, we all know he's going to win that fight, don't we?
Yeah.
All right.
So before we sign off and call this a night, just quickly, boys. Tomorrow, is it going to be announced? Are we going to be listening to Eddie Hearn announcing the fight of the century tomorrow? Is it going to happen?
I'm going to say
you're
no.
going with that then. Actual tomorrow?
Yeah. Do you reckon he's going to announce that they've both agreed on a deal that's been put in front of them?
Do you reckon they've managed to corner Josh Shearer in and make him sign a contract? Or?
If they have that, if they had to, they were given a certain amount of days, weren't they, to try and sort it out?
It's tomorrow.
It is, yeah.
Was that the final day? Is that the final?
Yeah.
I'll go with yes then. Yeah, I'll go with yeah.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
I wonder when it will be, whether it be behind closed doors or not. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
I don't think it will be, will it?
He's been given loads of options, hasn't he, Fury? You know, America's one of them.
UK is as well.
See, I don't think either of them want to go to. It's going into each other's backyard, really, isn't it? Fury really now fights out of the US.
Yeah, but Fury and Joshua has to be at Wembley, in my opinion.
I don't think it will be.
I don't
if I'm
think
being
it
honest.
will be.
Yeah.
But Eddie was saying that there has been an offer from the UK, so I don't know if.
Sadiq Khan said he'll make it happen, didn't he? Which means it ain't going to happen. So,
Put it in a big part, groups of 6.
yeah.
Yeah, well, come on, man.
I think
Everyone's getting vaccinated. Let us go to Wembley and watch the
I
biggest
think
fight of the
that's the
decade.
problem I have with Wembley, though, isn't it? Like the noise pollution, because it's bang on in the middle of the city. Well, sort of northwest London. They have issues with they've got to get certain contracts in place with transport for London. Big Wembley fight. No, they've only done 2, haven't they? 2 or 3. They're just genuinely difficult to make.
Yeah.
Because of the obstructions around it.
Well,
yeah, tomorrow though, probably. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go as well.
And I also think Eddie Hearn's leaving Sky.
That'd be a good thing for boxing, I think.
When have you watched the interview, Scott?
Yeah, I did see it. You sent it over. I did watch it, but I don't know. I feel like it's quite easy to pick that up that he is leaving, and it's a big thing. But then I think I said to you, replied saying that I feel like he's almost spoke about it to Coogan a tiny bit too much if he was going to leave. So I feel like he might even just pull out a mega deal, Sky paying him shitloads to stay. Because I think I said to you as well, I think they're going to lose football within the next few years, BT and other streaming stuff. But I don't know. I just feel it's obviously between DAZN and Sky, but I just feel like he might come and sign a big deal with Sky to keep it as their main sport.
You know, how much does Sky make off it? You know, is that a big?
That's the thing.
Is that a big money bringer for Sky? You got to think Sky massive.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing.
know.
They obviously they're the only platform I think apart from. Oh, they don't even have wrestling anymore. I was going to say like WrestleMania and stuff like that. I think they charge for that.
The best sport.
But
oh my god!
Yeah, I think it's the only sport that they charge for. I think like actual like pay-per-view. So they would make a bit of money off of that, and obviously if AJ's still about, and they can make money from that.
Yeah, I just don't see how someone can give you $1 billion.
Yes, yeah, they did.
Unless there's a gentleman's handshake or some kind of agreement in place that when your renewal comes up, you are fully on board with us.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
Because, mate, do you know how many zeros $1 billion is? That's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, when he first announced that a few years ago with this whole DAZN coming in, it was like, fucking hell, like that's a lot of money.
DAZN's huge in the States as well. I mean, it's kind of creeping up here.
Globally.
It's worldwide, mate.
Yeah. You know, we're kind of late onto it in the UK.
Because we try and get money out of people all the time.
But,
Sky's never going to be £2 a month. I'll tell you that.
No, and
maybe for badminton.
I think Sky have got rid of ringside. They've got rid of a lot of the
years ago, didn't it?
Yeah, and you look at how you're consuming. No, you look at how you're consuming the behind the scenes content now. It's from YouTube and it's from the Matchroom Boxing YouTube channel. It's not even from the Sky Sports channel. Yeah. So
you wouldn't go on your Sky TV guide to watch a documentary on boxing, would you, or to watch backstage interviews, as you say?
To be fair, I did actually.
Only
because I watched.
It's not, I mean, you wouldn't do that now, would you? You just wouldn't do it now, and they wouldn't have
you wouldn't
content on there.
No,
times have changed.
Exactly, it's not there.
Well, no, is Box Nation still going?
I don't know.
Yeah, it still pops up. I've got it. It's free on BT. I don't pay for it, so it's still there. But they just play replay fights for fucking ages ago.
Train not a pro.
White collar events on Box Nation. Hey, mate, it could be a business model.
It could be, actually,
yeah. But I know what you're saying. I do, to be honest, I do agree with you. I do think he's leaving, but I don't know. It's just one of them little things that I feel like everyone expects him to leave. And I'm just not 100% sure. The little 1% of me thinks that Sky have just gone, please don't leave, have fuckloads, buckets, just name it Eddie Hearn TV platform.
I mean, how would you think it'd be good for boxing if he left Sky?
I do.
I think it'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I haven't actually personally got Sky. So it does make it difficult to watch stuff. So I managed to watch it the other night anyway. But it makes it difficult.
So you wouldn't be able to watch it at a cotton mill, which would be quite a downer on your weekend.
Exactly. But it makes it easy, doesn't it? You log in online, put it on your telly nowadays with your smart telly. You can watch a street. You can get the app, which
I think when we all watched that Joseph Parker fight, you know, we all kind of woke up, had it on our phone. I was making breakfast with my girlfriend and just watching it, and it was so much easier. And yeah.
But you think like
it's simple, isn't it? It's cheap.
Times have moved on. How people are consuming content and what they're using to watch it on now has moved so much. You think gone are the days of everyone sat in front of a big TV in their living room watching stuff together.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time my TV in my living room got turned on unless I'm watching boxing or the kids are watching a film.
Or EastEnders. You watch that quite a lot, don't you?
Oh yeah, mate.
Ricky.
To be honest,
you could be Bianca.
Say that's what I was going with. It took you fucking 5 minutes to pick that
up. What was Max Brannan? Who's he? Which one's he in?
We going on EastEnders now on the
boxing
podcast.
He's in Heartbeat.
No, because he's got a boxing podcast, Pound for Pound. It's brilliant.
No, we saw him at York Hall, didn't we?
Claude
we saw him at York Hall.
Yeah, he goes quite a lot.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Brilliant podcast he's got with Spence Oliver.
Have you seen any home and away styles of boxing? Or?
Home and away. No, the way that, like we were just saying, that the stuff is moving. The amount of people that try to, you look on Twitter and Facebook, as soon as a boxing event is on, people are typing in streams to watch it illegally. So why not get £2 a month from DAZN, pay DAZN £2 a month for them to legally watch a stream that you're broadcasting? They'd get the money in. It makes sense. No one wants to pay, I don't know how much Sky is, 20, 30, 40 pound a month for Sky Sports.
70 odd.
Plus the pay-per-view on top.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's the right thing to do for him with the modern times.
I think you're right as well, Sky, what you say about the streaming. You know, these companies like Sky, etc., must have picked up that. Or even the promoters even going, we're losing a ton of money here.
Yeah.
People legally should. We can see they're streaming it, and they've got to have it there. The data in front of them, what they're losing out on.
It's big business for them. You know, the illegal streaming side. I've got a customer who's employed by Sky, and his job is to shut down the illegal streams. And
it needs to be done for TV companies.
They need it. And you think with DAZN, even if they're charging £5 a month, right? You're going to pay it. Because in your mind, it's going to be, well, it's cheaper than Sky, and I don't have to pay 25 quid every time a decent fight's on.
I mean, let's be honest, these things will eventually go up, and then there'll be something else that'll be, that's how it'll work.
Yeah, exactly.
The zone ain't going to be about forever.
Oh, yeah. You think, how long's Sky been about? What, 30 years or something? Like, it's been about since I was a kid. And you think in 30 years' time, there'll be
something different, won't there?
Yeah, there'll be something new, something much better than DAZN.
We'll be sat
haircuts and uppercuts live streaming. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, it's the same, bruv.
That's if I survive. That's if I get through my alcoholism.
No, we'll all be sat there with our VR headsets on, getting punched in the face virtually by Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
that's what it'll be, won't it?
No, it'll be Anthony Joshua's son in 30 years, mate.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Could you imagine if Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury's kids turned pro and fought each other as well?
I'm still going for the Traveller to win. Every time. Every time.
Every time, mate.
Every time.
Exactly. Right. So, boys, hopefully we'll be able to get together at the shop or Rob's flat this week and do one on location. Hopefully this is our last one on Zoom for a while.
Yeah.
It's been emotional.
We'll have to get a calendar going. But yeah, it's been emotional.
A calendar.
We'll have a little calendar going and when we're actually meeting, because you throw up like, let's all do a podcast. You text us at like 1 a.m. on Saturday, go, let's do it at 6 a.m. on Sunday. Like, Luke, Rob's hanging. No wonder I'm hanging.
As long as you bring your cat. As long as you bring your cat, so can,
so she can piss everyone off. That bloody cat.
See this?
There it is.
Oh well. At least the dog comes to the shop for me, and he's not as annoying.
That'll do.
Bring the cat as well. Cat and the dog.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to get you a
That could be our first live streaming fight, actually, couldn't it? Frankie v. Well, don't know your cat's name, but
Frankie getting battered by the cat.
yeah.
Mate, she's a savage. Right, boys, thank you very much.
Thanks so
See you
much.
soon.
Yeah, well, you know, he's saying he's paying me the money, so I'm saying.
Get sorted.
Yeah, good point there. No.
Right, wicked. Thanks so much, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.